The Michigan Construction Lien Act was really put in place to allow, to provide an opportunity for general contractors, subcontractors, and suppliers an additional resource to assist in getting paid when a project may go south. Oftentimes it's used by subcontractors and suppliers in situations where the owner of the property has paid the general contractor, but the general contractor, for whatever reason, has not paid the downstream subcontractors or suppliers. And so when it works well, then it creates an opportunity for the owner, for the general contractor, and the subcontractors and suppliers to have a constant communication dealing with, first, the notice of commencement coming from the owner, notice of furnishings coming from the suppliers and the subcontractors, and then you've got a general contract usually between the owner of the property and the general contractor. That general contractor often has subcontracts with subcontractors and suppliers, and so what you're missing is a link between the owners and the subcontractors and suppliers. And oftentimes these owners don't really have any idea who's working on their project because their relationship is with the general contractor. And so the Michigan Construction Lien Act steps in and provides a mechanism for the owner to become aware of who's working on their property. And that's done through a notice of furnishing, which the subcontractors and suppliers can give to the general contractor as well as to the owner. The owner then can go to the general contractor and say, all right, I know I need to pay you on a draw, and I want to do that. I need a sworn statement from you. And then under the Construction Lien Act, there's a form sworn statement that the general contractor must provide anytime there's a request for payment. That general contractor then has to itemize in the sworn statement who are the subcontractors and suppliers that have been working on the property, how much are they owed now, and are they owed any more money later? And that's governed by their contract. That way, the owner of the property can say, okay, I'm authorizing the payment under that sworn statement, and I want to make sure that those subcontractors and suppliers get paid, so please provide me the lien waivers from those subs and suppliers. Under the Construction Lien Act, the contract between the owner and the general contractor is required to have certain things in it. One of those things is in order to have a construction lien under the Michigan Construction Lien Act, the general contractor, if they're required to be licensed, must put certain notifications in that contract, including their license number. If they fail to do that, the Michigan courts have unanimously decided that you cannot have a lien if you're not licensed. And so as an owner, you want to make sure from the very beginning that you're dealing with a licensed contractor. And if you're not, that should raise a red flag. Now, from the owner's or from the contractor's standpoint, that's an incentive in order to become licensed under Michigan's licensing rules for builders, because then that gives you the full authority of the Michigan Construction Lien Act in order to assist in getting paid on a project where, for example, the owner may not want to pay for the work that has been done under the contract. Now the general contractor has the tools and the right to lien the property to assist in getting paid. And if the Construction Lien Act is working properly, it's really designed to help residential owners from paying twice for the same improvement. And that's where the notice of furnishing comes into play. So hopefully in situations where the subcontractors or suppliers have not been paid, they've provided the proper notice of furnishings. In addition, you hope that the general contractor provided a proper sworn statement to the owner. And under the Construction Lien Act, the notice of furnishing may very well assist the downstream subcontractors and suppliers in getting paid, even when the owner has already paid the general contractor. Now, with that said, if we have a situation where the owner has paid the general contractor and the general contractor has not paid the subcontractors and suppliers, that implicates another statute under Michigan law in addition to the Michigan Construction Lien Act. Because again, the Construction Lien Act is simply a tool to assist the contractor and the subcontractors and suppliers in getting paid when they haven't been paid. The statute that I'm talking about is called the Michigan Building Contract Fund Act. Most people know it as the Michigan Builders Trust Fund Act. That is actually a criminal statute that was enacted many years ago. I believe it actually goes back to the Great Depression era, when you would have situations where general contractors were working for owners and they would get paid by the owner, and then the general contractor would not use that money to pay the subcontractors and suppliers. And so the statute has been around for many years. And what it essentially says is the minute that the owner pays the general contractor, that money is not owned by the general contractor. It is held in trust for the benefit of the subcontractors and suppliers. And so, general contractor, you do not own this money, but you must first pay, under the Michigan Builders Trust Fund Act, the subcontractors and suppliers, and until those individuals or companies are paid in full, you have